Okay, I get you for us with it. 7 o'clock.
Okay. Can everybody please stand for the flag salute?
With allegiance to the flag, of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notification of this meeting has been provided by advertising in the record and posting notice of this meeting in Borough Hall and the Superintendent's office. I hereby call to order the public meeting of Little Ferry Board of Education, Thursday, May 1st, 2025 at 7:01 p.m. I have a roll call, please.
Mr. Pinelli, Mrs. Bertoli,
Here.
Mr. Phytros, here, Mr. Kanan, here, Mr. Mealy, here, Ms. Vilasuzo,
Here.
Mr. Forasek, here, Mrs. Patel,
Here.
Mrs. Bradley.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Public comment comes before the.
Budget hearing. All right, we're gonna open up things with the public budget hearing. So this is 2 meetings. The first is the public budget hearing. Then we will close that after we take the vote on the budget, and then we'll open up to a regular public meeting. All right, so Ms. Larry, how are you? So I'm gonna go through the budget presentation. John and I will kind of swap back and forth between the numbers. For the board, you can, the presentation is behind you. For the public, this will be handed out, posted on the website. So really, we had 3 goals coming into this budget. Come on in. All right, so we're just gonna do the budget presentation and then we're gonna go to the students of the month, okay? So we had 3 main goals when we were doing our budget goals. Resource alignment, program expansion, and fiscal responsibility. We knew this year coming in with the expansion across the street that the fiscal responsibility was going to be something that we were going to have to look at for the borough, because we wanted to make sure that we stayed at our 2% tax levy. So this is going to be the budget funding. This is the numbers that are going to be kind of explained to you by Mr. Gomez, and then we'll get into some of the things that are in the budget for the 25-26 school year. So, Mr. Gomez, if you want to.
So first number is the tax levy. We decided to go to the 2%. Now, the number we could have gone to was an additional 1.6 million. We had $900,000 adjustment for enrollment we could have taken. We had a $300,000 adjustment for increased health costs that we could have taken, and we had bank cap about 375, which came out to about 1.6 million. We decided not to do that, so we stayed at the 2% under, so we're at the cap. State aid. So we got a $300,000 increase from the state, but the state capped what everybody should get. So I'm not happy about this number. What we should have gotten was $1 million if you go by the state funding formula. So the state, for the first time in 7 years, did not fund the formula. So right now we're at 88% of what we should be receiving in the state of New Jersey, and our local fair share is where it's supposed to. So preschool state aid was reduced by 149,000. So the way they took it theoretically out of the carryover. So we're carrying over about 893,000. So they don't take the money back. What they do is they take it off the top of your next set of checks. Just want to show you how much switching is between regular education and RP and our special ed. It went up 0.5%. That's just sheer numbers. Capital reserve, we're gonna be using $2,500,000 out of the capital reserve, we're gonna fund. The Univent project, which starts July 1st, we're gonna do possible. Land acquisition. Yeah, and we're gonna do the bathrooms next to the gym, so that will be awarding this evening. Or seems fit. Total general fund is 32,000,000. That does not include our Fund 20, which is our Title I total, which is on the order resolution is 36. So that's where we are. So we only went up on the general fund 2.74%. So what helped us is we're getting younger as a district. So when those retirees retire, we get what's called rate. So between that and just being real tight with all the personnel spending, that's how we're able to keep it at 2.74%. Now, so this is just a breakdown where our money goes. Now, there's different ways to break this down. So this is using the state, so transportation. So this is a significant number. So we've asked you guys in committee, we're gonna take some things back. We're using our drivers, so that's the result, minus 1.72%. We still have the number in the budget, where we should be, but every time we make these efforts, that number goes down. So we consolidated, there was a route that was right up the block of one of our guys lives around. That'll show you the influence on that. Facilities and maintenance, the reason it's down is because we've done so many projects up to this point. So, we're taking a bite out of that. Special education. So that's the number that's really in district. That's what it is. So we've been, working on just being better at all those places. Now, here's the other one, and this is why we're at 2.74%. 19.87% increase in health benefits. Now, that's the first half. So the health benefits aren't on the same calendar as our fiscal year. So that increase was January 1st, an average of 19.7%. Who knows what's going to happen on the second half of this budget? So that's half of the worries. But that was the biggest influence. Salaries were down a little bit. So that's how we made this all work.
And what John's saying, this next slide just kind of breaks down into each category, just so you can see it, where salaries pop. In our regular regular instruction, special ed instruction support, regular special education commissions, transportation, administration, benefits, increase in time, and maintenance. You include indicators, obviously, salaries and benefits, things of that nature.
Most districts spend about 70% of every dollar. It's a labor-intensive process. So when people say, "Oh, why are you spending so much?" If you want to touch every child, you have to have professionals in those classrooms.
And with the spending from the general fund, we were able to maintain all of our instructional staff, all of our support, like our professional staff, as well as all the current programs that we have. So Mr. Dunn has done a great job over the past couple of years of kind of implementing the curriculum. So this is the first year where we're not buying necessarily a new curriculum, we're starting a new program. When we started going through this, I said to him, I wanted 3 to 5 years of seeing what we have before we just try to make a change. So, with the data collection, the data lockers that we have, the teachers working hard with their PLCs, the teachers working hard on professional development, at their grade level meetings and going over data, we were able to keep everything intact, which is a testament to really everybody here.
So here's where we got our money. So in Little Ferry, the taxpayer pays. So that number includes the debt service. So this is going to be the first year where we're collecting taxpayer dollars to support the new building. So.
We'll get to that, we'll get to the explanation of that.
So state aid, 5.57, that includes a small piece of debt service that they give us, 74,000. And that'll be for the duration of the project, every year we'll get 75,000 state reserve, so we're pulling 2.5 million out of capital reserve to do those 3 projects. And preschool is about 2 million, but that includes the carryover, so that's net of the 149 we'll take back. So 149. And I'll tell you something, the state 3 years ago swore to all the districts that are doing pre-K. Oh, we're never gonna take back the carryover. So shame on them. I'm allowed to say that in preschool. So, yeah.
Preschool expansion, program, total budget. So actually the number of classrooms is actually serving less of a percentage of our eligible universe this year than it was last year. It's not because we reduced classrooms or staff, it's because the first grade numbers dictate the universe. And our first grade numbers are up, which means the universe is up, which means what we're serving is less. But we're serving 59% of our eligible universe. So, we are constantly looking for more space to serve the preschool program. We do have a waiting list currently going into next year. I think it's close to about 30 kids right now. And that's 30 kids prior to everyone necessarily being vetted. So there might be some people who don't do residency, who then we go on. Staff program investments 25-26. We last year had Thrive Alliance for our mental health practitioners. This year we're going with Insight Health. We're maintaining the 2 staff members that were here. We're also getting a dashboard for mental health services, which we started using this year on a trial run, and it's really served us well, both regular and special education. This is mental health on both sides. For special education, we are continuing to grow the ASD program. So one of the goals that I told the board was, we had an individual in our special ed program who started in that ASD program, and our goal is to get him to go from starting in that program to finishing in Little Ferry, and this allows that to happen. So this child should be able now to stay here through 8th grade, which was our goal, and I'm happy to say that we would be able to hit that goal. We adding another ASD paraprofessional because I think for those programs we need more paraprofessionals, and then another part 0.5 speech therapist, 0.6 school psychologist, which also our numbers are growing in special education. 1 and 2 preschool also increases those students that are in the qualified services. Technology, Notebook LM is something that we are using as an administrative team and looking to roll that out to staff come September. Chromebook, the Chromebook lease is in here again because it's every year. And we're getting great. And then our radios that I don't think there's an administrator here that wouldn't agree, which is our main source of security. We have all the bells and whistles and everything else, but those radios are the quickest way to get through. A lot of them are coming to the end of their life. So radios are not cheap. We do have more radios issued than ever before because of some behaviors that we have, some teachers who need them, or lunch supervisors that need them. So we are just listening to radios that's an issue. Well, we are adding a elementary guidance counselor, which to me is a long time coming. It will allow our current guidance counselor to do more, to be more proactive than reactive, because it's hard with 850 plus students to be everywhere. She's going in different directions, so now this will be able to separate those two and work together. Have to be able to do that this year, or in 25-26, because as I'm trying to get these pieces together, so we come to separate buildings, those relationships are formed, they make nice things together. And not part of the general fund, but the lunch service, one of the investments making is to hopefully be moving the cafeteria from, or put it in the kitchen from the annex over to the cafeteria. 6th grade health comprehensive new vision curriculum is aligned, so that is coming. We are right in line with that. Kokomo, which is a digital party system, the visitor lock system, is something that, Mark and Arthur has put a lot of time into researching it, meeting with different vendors, and different companies. This one seems to be the one that we would like to go with. And this helps screen everybody prior, if you're having an event in the gym, or even if we're having, the Living Museum, parents are coming, they get a QR code, and they're scanning in ahead of time, and they're putting their license in ahead of time. And we know if they're flagged or not, if they have the QR code, they can print it or put it on their phone, and scan it as they walk through the door, and they print out a pass, and they're good to go. If the student's late, put their name in, it prints out the pass, give them the pass, they walk to the classroom. So it'll speed up having kids sitting in the catch for sometimes 10, 15 minutes, especially on rainy days and days like that where it gets backed up in there. Don't forget, minus preschool, you almost have every student, minus preschool and kindergarten coming through the same doors when they're late. And the EAC program. This is just a little bit more information. Again, it'll be online about all the things that I just mentioned. The capital projects that John hit on earlier, I don't want to gloss over them because I do think it's very big for the district and it's an important step forward. You know, a lot of our focus obviously has been across the street, but we can't forget about Memorial School here. So the HVAC system upgrade is a long time coming. Those are very, very old. And I make the joke all the time with John and Louis that Bethel should probably have an office here if we had space for an office for them. So this is going to be a really nice project that will be done. The gym bathrooms that the board approves that tonight are going to be done by the gym, and that is a series of investments I'd like to make in the next couple of years to get the bathrooms kind of redone, middle school bathrooms, and then third grade to this year. And then property acquisition, always looking, you know, we just keep money in capital, doesn't mean we have to use it for that. But as we look to expand preschool, we potentially expand board offices, it's something to keep money in capital. Lastly, tax impact on the homeowners. So I am proud to say that we are at the 2% cap this year and not above it, because there was conversations for quite some time that we might have to go above the 2% cap. We were able to get it in at the 2%. If you look around the county, you're going to find big numbers. I mean, we just watched the news before, somebody passed, and it was 10%, 9%, 8%. You know, even smaller ones like 2.5, 2.6, 3%. So being at 2% is a big deal, and leaving the 1.6, I don't want to say leaving it on the table, because we intentionally left it there because of the building going up across the street, tax impact on the community.
And it's not usable.
It's not usable. And the debt service tax impact for anybody that's going to go online, we'll also put this on the website for the new building if anybody wants to go with it. Ends up being with the $5 million that we got from the state, $41.79 a month, which is down from the original funding that we had. It's down $100. We originally told them when we advertised it was going to be about $600 a month a year for the taxes. And we got that down to $500. So again, we're very proud of that.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Carapano. Thank you, Mr. Gomez. We'll now open it up to public comment on the budget presentation. All right, then do I have a motion to adopt the budget? Second?
Second. Board is open.
All right, Mr. Brunelli. Mr. Bertoli. Mr. Phytros.
Yes.
Mr. Nan.
Yes.
Mr. Mealy.
Yes.
Ms. Willisuzo.
Yes.
Mr. Borisek.
Yes.
Mrs. Patel.
Yes.
Mrs. Bradley.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Great. Be it resolved that the Little Ferry Board of Education approves the adoption of the 2025-2026 budget on May 1st, 2025 at 7:19 p.m.
Right. Okay. We're gonna go a little out of order before we just jump into the regular meeting because you've been sitting here patiently nicely, so I want to get Valerie and Victoria, right? Those are the two I have. Okay. Valerie. So we have our students of the month for March, and we have grade 6, Valerie for Stan. Right. about Valerie, what her teachers had to say. The grade 6 teachers have this to say about Valerie. She works hard and puts in great effort. She pays close attention during lessons. She sets a positive example for others. She is kind, friendly, and helpful to her peers and her teachers. Congratulations. All are welcome. All right, and our grade 8 March student of the month is Victoria Leon Peralta. All right, so the teachers have this to say about Victoria. She demonstrates a strong commitment to learning. She sets a positive example for others in terms of focus and work ethic. She shows respect for teachers, classmates, and the school environment. She exhibits a high level of integrity and can be trusted to handle tasks and assignments without supervision. Congratulations. Thank you.
So, be it resolved that the Little Ferry Board of Education approves the minutes of the regular public meeting held on March 18, 2025, and a special public meeting held on April 14, 2025. Do I have a motion? Motion. Second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Brunelli,
Yes.
Mr. Natoli,
Yes.
Mr. Phytros.
Yeah.
Mr. Kanan,
Yes.
Mr. Mealy,
Yes.
Mr. Lusuzo,
Yes.
Mr. Voracek,
Yes.
Mrs. Patel,
Yes.
Mrs. Bradley.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
We'll now open it up to Mr. Carrapato for the superintendent's report.
All right, I will, quick, sorry, my phone is ringing, but she knows where I am. Okay, so we are HIP report for since our last board meeting, 0 at Washington School and 0 reported in Memorial School. Some big highlights, I know the girls softball team hasn't been around since 2018. I can't confirm the date for the boys baseball team, but I am looking for it. But they both kicked off their season, Tuesday. The girls are currently 2-0. The boys are 1-1, but they did both win their home openers, which was awesome. So that was great. I do want to point out some upgrades to the board if you haven't been able to see them. If you would like to see them. I know some of you had a chance the other day, but we have the new floors that you're sitting on right now in the multi-purpose room that was done over spring break. The floors in the teacher's lounge will also be redone, and that furniture, I got an email today. The furniture for that lounge is in, so I'm hoping to get that actually next week or two, which will be awesome. We also added some opening windows to the nurse's office, which I think I'm more excited than anybody other than the nurses. And the mats in the gym are being installed tomorrow morning, correct? Yeah, tomorrow morning. So I do want to thank Louis and his crew because it was a busy spring break for them. And they got a lot done over spring break, and they came back, the building looks great, so thank you. May 8th is Treps and our district Starry Night and Steam Night, which went out to the families today about that. And Treps is always a great event. If you haven't been to one, I highly suggest coming to one. Bring some cash though, because it's not always that cheap. But that Treps will be first, and then immediately after Treps, we're going to the Starry Night. May 15th is our Teacher of the Year, honoring the Teachers of the Year. Also honoring Barbara Costa for 50 years. What happened? Ms. Costa, I have the letter going on my desk for her to hand it to her tomorrow. And we're live. I was going to tell you when I thought about it. So we're also, the PTA that night is also going to be handing out the 25 years of service awards as well at our board meeting. So that'll all that information will go out. You said you're going to.
We already sent out.
Oh, you did. Okay, and then I'll get something out to the staff. May 22nd. This was the big one. So May 22nd is our first ever National Honor Society induction ceremony at 6:30. So this is something that the board has wanted to do. This is something that, as they wanted to do it, administration was currently working on. So I do want to give some credit to the committee, first and foremost, which is Danielle Viso, Sarah Stens, Jillian Calcino, Susan Sun, and Jacqueline Rizzi, who are, really the boots on the ground, getting the essays and looking at the essays and kind of going through all the data and selecting the students. And then, of course, Mr. Beekler, Ms. Casamento, and Ms. Rizzi, Gina Rizzi, for really getting this thing off the ground. And we're happy to be able to do the first one this year. We had originally thought we were going to have to wait for next year. So we are very, very excited about that. That is going to be May 22nd at 6:30 in our gymnasium. June 17th is our 8th grade promotion ceremony, and we do not have Ms. Augusta tonight because we have 2 meetings this month. I told her it'd be nice to read at the May 15th meeting because she'll have a much bigger crowd to read to. That concludes my report.
Great, thank you, Mr. Fairbrother. Mr. Gomez, was your budget presentation? Would you like to give a report?
Yeah, just a couple things. So with the food service for the month of March, we made $32,546.15 in profit, which brings the year-to-date profit amount to $156,805.77. We served 10,921 meals between the elementary and the middle. The reimbursement from the feds was $62,000, which is the most. We also made the most, so I'm starting to calculate net profit per day. So for March, $1,550 profit per day, and we served 21 days. So we had our food service review from the state, and Ms. O'Shea got a perfect evaluation. Having everything prepared. So, yeah.
And we passed with flying colors.
Yeah. And that is all and so, we executed the contract for the new building and cut the purchase order. Largest one I've ever done. On the HVAC, we're waiting for the contract to come back so I can sign it, and we'll cut that purchase order. And from now until June 15th, we'll start getting everything lined up for summer projects in this building, getting all the paperwork done. So yeah, we're about to kick off a fun summer.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Gomez, and thank you, Ms. O'Shea. We'll now open up to committee reports. Mrs. Bertoli, personnel.
We haven't had one since our last meeting, but I do want to congratulate Miss Library, Mr. Fonte on their retirement. Thank you for your years of service to our kids.
Ms. Phillips, for education.
I am going to wait until the May 15th, meeting to give my report.
Great, thank you. Mr. Benelli for finance?
We discussed the budget.
Great. Mr. Mealy for policy?
Policy committee met and discussed the following policies. Policy 9163 is spectator code of conduct in the scholastic events. Policy 8500 is about food service. Policy 5710 student grievance. Policy 5701 academic integrity. Policy 5111 eligibility of resident, non-resident students. Policy and regulation 5516 the use of electronic communication.
Mrs. Patel, transportation.
We did not have a meeting since our last meeting.
Right. And then as far as, the expansion committee goes, as everybody knows, our intention was to work as quickly as we can to get the new middle school building up. As you know, from our last meeting, our last meeting, we awarded, the contract to DOPCO. They have also, their intentions are to work at lightning speed. If you've noticed, they've started mobilizing on the site. They've added a couple of their home-based trailers, and you may have noticed that the solar panels have come down actually,
All the panels are down.
but the structure itself is still
That's
there,
nice.
so, they are working quickly. I did want to mention to the public that we do intend to have a groundbreaking ceremony. The anticipated date at the moment is May 31st. That may change a day or two, but that's what we're shooting for at the moment. We'll be able to provide a little bit more information. And then Mr. Borisek, for the Borough Liaison Report. Great. Mr. Feitros for Ridgefield Park Liaison Report.
Yes, so Richfield Park last night passed their budget, and they also announced that their state monitor will be, that whole process will be ending immediately, and they'll be out of receivership forward. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Kanan for the NJSBA Delegate Report.
The Bergen County, SBA has a meeting on the 29th of this month. They'll be announcing the county teacher of the year.
Great. Thank you. We'll now open it up to public comment on agenda items only. Ms. Lavery? Do you have any comments? No? Okay.
So, Ms. Laver, I was waiting for public comment to just make a comment about your retirement. So, not only do I appreciate everything you've done in the classroom, I've told you every time I get the opportunity to tell you how amazing you are in that classroom. And it's, you don't replace somebody like you have no choice, but you really can't find another Miss Lavery to come in that room. You've been nothing but tremendous, and even on the union side of it, and being the president, working with you on those items too, it's been, it's gonna be missed, but I wish you nothing but the best, and thank you for everything you've done.
Okay, we'll now take a block vote on F16 to F20, DO43 to DO56, P25 to P35, FA3, C6, and PO3. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
All right. Mr. Benelli,
Yes.
Mrs. Bertoli,
Yes.
Mr. Phytros,
Yes.
Mr. Kanan,
Yes.
Mr. Mealy,
Yes.
Ms. Willisuzo,
Yes.
Mr. Borisek,
Yes.
Mrs. Patel,
Yes.
Mrs. Bradley.
Yes.
All resolutions passed.
All right, we'll now open it up to public comment on non-agenda items. All right, then do I have a motion to adjourn? Second?
Second.